Barkeep. Curtis.
Noah, great to be here.
Larceny. We're back at 'em.
Larceny, man.
We, what is this? 2 months? Almost 2 months late. You can't put a 5 on your batch and then have it release in essentially July.
Yeah, nobody, at least in our area, has seen it until probably the past 7 to 10 days or so. And yeah, it's 524 is in May of 24, and it's just, I mean, it's kind of a bold-faced lie at this point. But
yeah, but
I'm not bitter at all.
we're here.
We made it, we got it. Pretty excited about it.
I remember A batch being hot, so we'll compare.
Yeah.
We'll see, because I feel like Larceny kind of sits around a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, price point's good.
Sure.
I feel like the juice is good for most.
It's pretty damn good, yeah. I'd like to think that, at least in my head, the Elijah Craig barrel proofs maybe have it by a nudge, at least at this point, a smidge, if you will. But maybe the B524 changes that, who knows?
Maybe. We'll see if the hype starts here,
Yeah,
because obviously we're trendsetters.
that's exactly right.
So
Barkeep.
we got our Heaven Hill product, rumored to be 6 to 8 years old.
This is the new one if you want the...
Yeah, but it feels weird like reaching
Put it over.
together.
Yeah, let's do it.
Why do I stick my hip out every time?
I don't know, you get feminine, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's all right, though.
I'm just pumped for it,
It's
but
2024. So we have, as you said, we're getting into specs. 6 to 8 years, rumor 125.4 proof compared to 125.2 in the last batch. So
settle down,
a
B.
little hotter, man.
Slow down, B.
I'll be able to pick that out. Other than that, it's kind of business as usual for Larceny, just the latest release. We're excited about it, at least I am. I can't speak for you. Are you?
Yeah, I feel good.
Okay.
I feel good about it. I had to think about it for a second.
So the low good Glencairns that you see right here hold the B524, the latest release. The one next to it, the previous release, A124. These low good Glencairns are available if you have any interest for free after 3 months of Patreon.
A few months.
A few months.
Who's counting?
3.
You know?
But they are free at that point. So if you have any interest in that, link is below. Pointed downward, I guess.
Yep.
But other than that, looking forward to it. If you've been here,
see what we got.
thanks for coming back. And if you're new, welcome.
Yeah. Cheers to the day ones and the day...
The day now.
283.
Yeah, something like that. Getting close to a year, man.
It's so close.
Ooh.
Stings the nostrils.
First sniff.
Do it.
I'm getting a lot of cinnamon, heavy cinnamon.
There's so much cinnamon.
Yeah.
This is cinnamon. This is like I threw a red cherry in my mouth, did one of these,
Yeah.
and then threw it in some cinnamon powder.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right
That's
now.
right. There's a little bit of sweetness in there, but the cinnamon kind of overpowers it.
There's a little either like leather or soil. I'm not sure yet.
I hope it's not soil.
I'm going leather.
Eat
I'm gonna go
dirt.
leather. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a heavy cinnamon. Like stings the nostrils, and not really just because of the proof. Heavy cherry and heavy leather. Wow. The cinnamon continues.
Goodness.
Why? Why are you so hot?
That is just a hot tamale.
Okay.
I don't mind it because I enjoy hot tamales, and it's literally a hot tamale.
It
and
is.
I like that candy.
I would argue it's the extreme hot tamale. You know, they have like the regular, and then they have the extreme where it's like hotter.
There's another candy that's like a perfect sphere. I can't remember what it's called, but it's similar. It's just cinnamon-based candy that I enjoy as well.
The atomic fireball.
That could be it.
I've used that as well.
Yeah.
It is very hot. It pops on the front of the tongue. I would argue there's not a lot of hug, actually. It is very aggressive up front.
Yeah.
And then immediately leaves.
It's medium for sure at best.
Huh.
But you'd think barrel proof, 125 plus, you'd think it'd hang around a little longer, be a little deeper in the belly, and it's not really. Interesting.
For how much cinnamon there actually is, there is a lot of sweetness.
Yeah.
Once you...
It's just like I hate saying generic brown sugar, but that's what it is for me.
I felt like my eyes went cross-eyed, but I could still at least process like a nice, rich caramel. Outside of that, like
Yeah.
Tell us what sip 2 tastes like while I sip 2.
Sip 2 is a little smoother, I guess, a little tamer. It's not as like smack you in the mouth, but it's still just heavy, heavy hot tamale cinnamon.
Definitely tamer. It's still heavy cinnamon.
Yeah.
I would go maple, like that maple caramel type of thing.
Yeah, I remember, we'll get to it in a second, but I remember A124 was very kind of rich, that like dark brown sugar caramel, like it had more of that, more of those characteristics, those qualities in A124, so we'll see. But
yeah, communicate it sounds like I don't like it. I think once you kind of know what you're getting into, that second sip is better to where I'm sure we'll even do a third sip to where it's like, okay, well, this is it does go dark fruit on me, where it's more of like a date or plum almost. Brown sugar and cinnamon on cinnamon on cinnamon. I am always curious, so you know that this is coming out in the summer. Same thing with Booker's, you know when these are roughly coming out
the 2 and 3.
season-wise.
Yeah, the 2 and 3, yeah.
You would think that they would gear it a little towards the season.
Make it a little more floral, nothing, yeah.
They don't. They don't.
They don't care. They don't care about us.
All right, so I like it. It's aggressive. Let's see what A has real quick, because like we said, this could still be on shelves to where you could walk in and you're going this or that.
Yeah. Yeah, this is much richer.
Yeah, the cinnamon, at least based off of the B batch, is now gone.
Yeah.
To where it was there. I remember cinnamon. It's now gone after B batch.
Yeah.
And now this is, I'll go apple pie. Like I feel like it's a nice
I was going to say, this is like a caramel apple from the fair, but it's like triple dipped in the caramel. Like I get mostly caramel, but there is some like red fruit in there too. Yeah. I remember liking it.
Scored well. God, that's a lot of cinnamon too.
Yeah.
That
on the palate for sure.
Cinnamon bark. God, why?
I get your apple pie. I enjoy that quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's gonna make me start sweating.
I think this is my annoyance, if you will, to where Larceny, you're under Elijah Craig barrel proof, right? So in popularity, probably sales.
In price as well.
And you have a place to where you can really assert yourself because you are that lower priced, you are lower aged. Why are you coming so hot at people to where you can approach some of these Elijah Craigs even in the upper 120s and you're fine? Like some Kentucky hug, but it's not this like cinnamon, hot tamale, aggressive heat.
Yeah.
To where Larceny is taking out this population that could be buying it and they're like, I'm good. I don't want cinnamon bark, heavy cinnamon apple pie, and a little bit of brown sugar.
Fair enough. Where do you think, if that's your thought, where do you think they should live? Like a little bit like 115 to 120, like more floral?
I don't think it has anything to do with the proof. I just feel like some of this blending to where it's like, why are we chasing this heavy cinnamon to where this is like, if I made a cinnamon roll and then just the lid fell off of the cinnamon powder.
And just pour it onto it, yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Because it does come out like, at least B batch does have a little bit of a bread vanilla icing to it. Like once you kind of start peeling back some of these layers, but it takes quite the effort to get around the cinnamon.
Sure yeah.
All right, so where you go, A or B? You walk into the store, you got the $70.
I'm going A. And it's more preference really. Like it's one of those things we've talked about in the past that I love the caramel brown sugar, the traditional bourbon notes. And while I do like cinnamon as well, it's a little more one-dimensional. The B524 is. You have to love cinnamon to like that. And if you don't like cinnamon, you're not going to like that.
Yeah, it's not undrinkable, and I feel like giving these rose-colored glasses type of reviews to where everything's fine and dandy, it's very good. Yeah. That's why we score it. But I'm going to poke holes in it where I don't want someone to walk into the store and be like, oh, this is a sweet bomb. And they're like, why?
Yeah, it's not a sweet bomb. If you're geared towards the sweeter, richer bourbons, then it's probably honestly a pass.
I think as B opens up because it is fresh or cracked. The sugar does start to come out, still cinnamon.
Yeah.
But you do have in the back of the palate more of a maple syrupy, and even like the feeling of maple syrup right in the back. Does start to warm throughout the chest, but I think I would go B. I think,
Really?
Yeah. A, having that kind of light green apple into like a cinnamon bark, a little more drying.
Yeah.
To where I think B is a richness. You have to like cinnamon. Both are cinnamon bombs. B is no different, but I like it. I like the richness, and it feels a little more like genuine maple syrup.
Sure. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. So we will record scores into our trusty Bourbon Barkeep 24 Whiskey of the Year sheet. That's a mouthful, man.
Yeah.
Bourbon Barkeep 2024 Whiskey of the Year sheet. And then we will come back and talk about them, and we'll wrap up.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. So we're back. Discussed our scores. Got our ducks in a row. The way we do scoring is we have two different categories. The first of which is called senses. That's kind of an all-encompassing nose, palate, finish, how much we like the bourbon without taking into account price or anything of that sort, just how much we liked it, you know. Second category is bang for the buck, and that's when we solely take into account the price. Would we pay for it? Would we pay more for it next time? Would we never buy it again at that price? That sort of thing. Bunch of different factors you can take into account there, but senses is where we start. You want to start it?
I will.
Okay.
I think as it opens, it gets better and better. So let's see where it is in a month.
Yeah.
And when I say we'll see, I mean privately.
From that first sip to now, 20 minutes-ish, it's gotten better for sure.
Definitely gotten better. I remember the Elijah Craig B batch did the same thing to us. Like now on the nose, I'm getting a lot of Baby Ruth, which I'm here for. So that peanut's starting to come out from Heaven Hill. I'm here for it. I like it. I think I'm 77.
Okay.
Like I think it's firmly in the good stuff. Definitely not great. But I don't think Larceny's made it to great for us. At least not that I can remember.
It's been smack dab in the middle of 70 to 80, which is the good stuff for us.
It's good and great value, which we'll talk about.
Sure, yeah. It's a step down from their previous release, A124 for me, but not by much. I think I had 77 on A124, so I'll go 75. It's same story. It's good, not great.
Yeah.
It's something that I'll be pleased to pour and drink this winter for sure, not this summer. I'll drink that for $65 MSRP all day, which brings us into bang for the buck.
So we do bang for the buck kind of two ways parallel is, so for, would we say 65?
65.
Let's say 65 SRP. Do I feel like I got my $65? I would answer yes.
Yeah, same.
And would I pay up?
Yeah.
I mean, if you consider like $5 paying up, sure. Am I picking this over Elijah Craig B batch? I would say no for that specific batch.
Sure.
So if they're both on the shelf, I would pay the extra for Elijah Craig.
Yeah, and I mean, similar stance for me, $65 MSRP. I certainly feel like I got that with this bourbon. Like you said, I'd pay a few extra dollars if somebody listed it for $68.99 or $70.
Easy.
Nice. I would probably splurge for $70, but if you're gonna, have a liquor store throwing that for $75-$80 out there, I'm probably passing at that price. There's just other stuff in that price range I'd rather have.
Yes, I would walk out if you told me this was $80.
Yeah. So
I'm at my bang for the buck. I'll go 67. Like I feel like it's just kind of firmly in the middle to where I got my money's worth. I would pay $5, maybe even $6 extra.
Okay.
But as soon as you hit $10, I'm out.
Yeah, sure. At the risk of just picking the same number as you, because I think we're kind of in agreement there, I'll go 66.
Yeah.
It's a good deal. It's not a great deal by any means in terms of other stuff out there, but it's certainly worth the $65 we paid, and we'd probably spend an extra $5 to add it to the collection. So
yeah, this is one. If you see it and you want to buy it, cool. Open it, give it time because it is getting sweeter and sweeter.
Open it and leave it for an hour. Yeah.
But you get behind the cinnamon. Behind the cinnamon.
Yeah. Drill that through your skulls.
If we get a comment and they're like, "Why didn't you talk about the cinnamon?"
Oh my God.
I may leave.
My God, I had us on mute. But take that for what it is, guys. Appreciate you joining us yet again, week after week. We try to get the new releases out as soon as possible, as soon as we find them and think that it would be valuable to get it out to you guys. That's what we do. So
we try.
Yeah. To you. To you, brother.
Try hard.